Hi there, this is the Victats Podcast. This is a podcast about tatting, not the skin and ink kind of tatting, but the needle shuttle thread kind of tatting. I also do cross stitch and other crafts, but the last couple days I've been doing a bit of a vlogmas or a blogmas, and although I'm not hitting every day, obviously, but I've in the last two posts. I have, oh wow, I shake the table, the thing shakes. Okay. I have been sharing a star pattern. So this was the first star pattern that I shared. Okay. And then I shared what I consider to be a variation on that star pattern. And then here's another version. Now, these are fairly simple patterns. So if you told me someone else had come up with this, I wouldn't be shocked. However, I think that they're reasonably unique. So that's why I'm sharing them. Although I'm always a little nervous when I do something that is the weave chains, because you never know if that's been if Ruth Perry's already done it, which is entirely possible. But since I don't remember seeing it, and I kind of did a Google search to check, I didn't see anything like this, so I think I'm okay. I don't know. Anyways, okay, so today's version is no weaving, okay? No weaving, no fancy stitches involved. Okay, so here we are. It's going to look like this. And what I did is when I made it, I made another one. I also, at the same time in my final, after I did an alligator joint, and then I came back around on the final stitch. And I also added in a little heart so it can look like, a little pendant thingy or a little, right? And on this one, I have done the Ruth's Best Press. So I'm also going to, as part of this, show you how I stiffen my stuff. Although none of these really need to be stiffened too much. It just helps to finish them. Okay, so similar pattern to previous. Okay, I'm sure you're shocked by this. We have a first ring is 4 picot 4, then a chain of 10, and then 4 picot 4, and then we're going to do a chain of 10 because you might as well watch me do this. Eight, 9, 10. I like these ones, this kind of thing, because you know what? There's not a lot of fiddle. I find it, if you can get away with just doing the alligator joint, you don't have to, it's not as fiddly. You don't need like a crochet hook with you or anything like that. Okay. Okay. I was trying to think of what else I should talk about. Well, we had a lot of snow the last couple days here. I'm in Smiths Falls, Ontario, Canada, and we finally got snow. We didn't have snow at all till like a couple days ago, and believe me, we've gotten enough, but it's all good. And you don't really feel like it's Christmas if you don't have snow when you grow up in this area. I'm sure it's much different if you grow up in somewhere like Hawaii or Las Vegas. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yes, usually I use the magic of tatting ahead, but today for some reason I thought that you needed to see me tat. Oh, am I starting to do 5 stitches? Oh my gosh. And, oh my gosh. I don't know. If I feel adventurous, I might add some beads to some of these and see what happens. If you've been watching for a while, you know I had a house fire, and ever since then I'm still a little pissy about using beads because, my Oh, my bead collection was gone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and here we are, number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Do you see that? 8, 9, 10. Okay, so let me just count this again. 4, 6, 8, 10. I think I mentioned before 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, sorry, that was not the last one. That my eyes have not been as good in the last year. I mean, compared to what they were before, because they were really good before. So I highly recommend using the cheater glasses or the reading glasses for doing crafts, okay? And just having them there for counting and that. It'll make your life a lot easier. You don't even realize how much effort you're putting into this sometimes. 2, 4, okay. All right, so here we go. One last chain of 5, okay? See, it's like little waves. Okay. Okay. Nine, 10. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so here we have our 5 rings and 5 chains. And unlike the other day, we are not weaving anything, okay? So what we are going to do is we are going to once again utilize the alligator join, okay? And I'm going to have one thread go in front and one thread go in behind. Okay, now, normally when I'm going in a second, I will do it a little bit different, right? But right now, I find if I'm at this point in time when the chain's opposite, right, then I'm going to do the ball thread in front and the shuttle chain in the back. I don't think I pointed that out previously, but most of the time I do it the opposite. And then remember, you can either do a shoe, if you were watching the last video, I had a conversation about doing a shoelace trick, which is just you kind of doing like a tie like this, or versus what I like to do is I do a first half stitch. Okay, so here it is, and then I rotate it, okay, and I reverse my work. Now, look, now, the nice thing about this is that this can kind of snug right in at the base of that first ring, and goes right like that. Okay, and then I can use that as my first half stitch. But it doesn't matter. Either way, you turn work, you do a shoelace trick, or you do it the way I do it, doesn't matter, okay? All right, so then we're going to do now for the outside section, we are going to do 10 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now, remember normally, except for when I'm changing direction, is I like to do it so that the shuttle thread goes in front and the ball thread goes in the back, alligator join, and then 10 again. Okay, now if you've been watching the last couple days and you're wondering where the beautiful color of thread that I've been getting is from, it's actually from Carrie Sullivan's hand-dyed threads. I'm a big fan of her hand-dyed threads and a total addict. So, and I think when you have hand-dyed threads that anybody's done, because there's a lot of really great dyers for tatting on Etsy, then what happens is it just makes any design, simple design look more beautiful or fancier. That's just my opinion. And I'm lazy. So It allows me to have like a multitude of colors without having to fiddle around. So you might have noticed I really like to do shuttle and ball kind of work. Yeah, so this is what it's starting to look like. Okay, wee, is that pretty? Okay, and alligator join again, and once again. Remember, alligator join, one thread goes on one side, the other goes on the other side of wherever you're joining. Now I'm joining around the base of a ring, but sometimes it's around chains in that. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, remember, shuttle thread in front and the back. Okay, now the last video I didn't talk about needle tatters, and I apologize. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, because we're kind of doing, this is looking different, right? You know, if it's up to you as a needle tatter. If you want to, you can close the chain right before you do the alligator join in this situation. But remember, you won't be reversing work, and you're not trying to change the thread direction, switch the threads. But you probably, you want to have it we're not trying to get that continuous circle. So I suspect you're probably better to tension off after each. That's my suspicion, and tension off and remember, this is the last one. So when I go around the last one, I kind of try to, let me do this again. Oh my God. I try to kind of set my tension, but then flip this so that there's a knot there, and come up around and do that part again. Okay, so I try to make it so there's a knot there. You just tie a knot there. Okay, I'm making it sound stupid. So if you're a needle tatter, again, remember, I have not needle tatted this, so I am fairly not a good resource to use for some suggestions. But I think that I would I think that sorry, excuse me. We've started wearing masks again in the clinic because cold season's going around, and it's just wreaking havoc with my voice, but because it makes my throat very dry. So if I was a needle tatter, like I said, I would, for this outside part, I would do my chain, close it off, alligator. When you start the next one, set the needle here, right, and kind of come up, and then do your knots, okay, and then pull it up through. Now the thing is I could be wrong about you needing to close off. I could be right. Again, I want to say that, make a disclaimer of, I have not needle tatted this, so I would take what I'm telling you with a bit of grain of salt, okay? Now, when I added on my little charm there that I showed you, I just, after I tied, what I did is, before tying off, I cut my thread, put the charm on the thread that goes in the front, which for me is the shuttle thread, and then just held it that way. But you could easily do a couple things. You could put a jump ring on to put it on, and there's a couple ones that I have around here that I'm probably going to get a jump ring for to attach the charm. What else? I really think these would look super cute with some beads on there. Not my best stitch there, but anyways, okay. This is what this looks like. All right, so here's this one. Sometimes the other thing is, don't be afraid to kind of fiddle with your tatting and kind of smooth it out, all right? So we have that one. We have this one I've done. And we have this one. And this one I've put the sizing on. So I wanted to show you what I do. So now we've done this. I've shown this to you, but I really wanted to show you how I do the my setting, or my finish. Okay, so look, here's my ends. I'm going to hang these, or I'm giving these as little hangers. Okay, like as ornaments, so that's why they have the little hangers on there. Now you might want to tie and do a knot and kind of glue it, or hide the ends and put a hanger on the top instead, so it looks a little bit fancier. I'm not doing that because, in all honesty, these are going in the mail, and they're going in the mail, and I don't want to make anything more bulky than they have to be. How about that? And I'm not going in the mail too soon because I'm in Canada and Canada Post is on strike, okay? But still, okay, here we are. So I've got these guys all laid out here. I'm gonna do my little knots. If you see a little bit of sparkle, it's not showing up, but sometimes what I will do is use a little fine sparkle on things just to add that kind of, subtle kind of sparkle when I'm not using beads. Okay, here we go. Oh. Okay. Oh my God, I've done something. Did you see this? Look, something weird has happened here. My thing has slid down. That has only happened this one time, so don't worry about that happening. If it happens, just shove it back up. Because remember, we did an alligator join, so we really haven't anchored this stitch around these guys. So perhaps they could be a little slidey. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, all right, I'm gonna put them back up. Oh my God. Sorry. If you remember if you watched the other one the other day, I confessed to having a fairly jerry-rigged setup. So if things get knocked around, it's entirely my fault, but it's because it's weird, my setup. Okay. Alrighty. Well, that didn't quite come out. Okay, anyways, doesn't matter. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have to get 10 of these done, but I have 3 more upstairs. Okay, and I'm not going to go get them now because I'm doing this. Okay, so now what happens is here they are. My tatting's kind of spread out here. I have kind of fiddled with things to kind of sit the way I want them to. Like these chains are a little bit malleable and I can move them. Hold on, I'm going to move that up a bit with my scissors. And I could fiddle with this for hours, but my eyes are blurry anyways, so because I didn't put on my reading glasses, but hopefully the people who see this will understand these are pentacles, not pentagrams, pentacles. Okay. All right. And now what I'm going to do is this is a piece of paper towel, and this is called, I always call this Ruth's Best Press, but it's not, it's Mary Ellen's Best Press. It's not expensive. It's $5.95. The other options I do for if I really want to stiffen things is I will use glue as well, and it's a 50-50 mixture of glue. However, I'm not doing that today. And usually if I'm going to glue it, then what I do first is I rinse them. I saturate them with water. And then I put the glue on, and then I set them out to dry, just like this. Only now I'm using my Best Press, and I'm just coming through and I'm spraying them just like this. That's it. That's all. And you can tell they've all been sprayed because they kind of change color a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to let these dry. And when they're dry, they won't be super stiff. They'll have some sizing in them. So they will be, what they will do is they will, oh, I should have done, anyways, I was good. Okay. Anyways, okay, stop. I'm going to stop fussing. They will be flexible, but they will hold their shape really well. So this guy won't kind of collapse down. Because sometimes, tatting after a while kind of collapses down when you're using it as an ornament. So this helps it just maintain its shape. And that little stupid heart just won't stay still. So that's what gives me this kind of stiffness, all right? And I've done that a lot with a lot of different projects, and it's maintained its strength now. But if you are super worried about it, then my advice is to do the glue mix, okay? You know, you're gluing it anyways, so if you're gluing it, I would just tie a knot and cut. I wouldn't bother hiding my ends. However, that's me, and I'm clearly not a purist, okay? Alrighty. I understand that most people, that we should probably hide our ends, but I think it's more important that you tat than you tat perfectly. So, you know. Anyways, okay, so now that I've ranted a bit, and then I'm going to show you one more version, which I'm pretty sure somebody else has done too. I did this for, the reason why I have this pattern came up is because I'd done a pattern similar a number of years ago that I think I shared on my, I don't know, shared somewhere. Anyways, so there's one more that I might share. I don't know. Maybe two more. I don't know. Yep. I really want to encourage you guys to try this pattern. They're super fun. They're super easy. They don't take a lot of thread. There's not a lot of commitment to them, and they're, you know, easy to give away, and they look super cute. Okay. I'm going to perhaps do another project differently or shift gears. If I don't decide to show that other one, then I'll just shift gears and show you something else. Okay. Now I'm just randomly talking. So I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to wish you happy tatting, and I'll talk to you in a couple days. Okay? Cheers.